Hey, welcome to the Free Refills podcast, where
All right, hey, we agreed. This wasn't
oh,
going to be so formal. This
that's
wasn't going to
true.
be like our spiel. That's episode next, okay? This is the epilogue. Yeah, tell us what we're doing here, because obviously I'm lost. What is this about?
Yeah, no matter what it's called, whether it's the epilogue or the prologue, welcome. My name is Wayne Morgan, my co-host Jonny Radcliff. This year for the Free Refills podcast, we are going through 2023, introducing you to some amazing youth workers across the country and helping you start amazing conversations with other youth workers about things that matter.
Yep, excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me along. I do think it's pretty awesome that they let the two Pennsylvania guys
Yeah.
jump on here and start calling the shot. So clearly, we are the Keystone State. You're welcome,
We are.
America. But yeah, I mean, so Wayne, as I speak for the people, as I frequently do,
Yes.
everyone wants to hear about Wayne Morgan, the man, right? Like we hear of this mythical figure that roams about the country evangelizing to the thousands, and we want to hear the story that makes Wayne Morgan. Can you enlighten us? Was that too
Wow.
dramatic? I
That is
felt it. I
really
felt it.
dramatic.
That was
Wow.
a little
That
much.
that shook my soul.
It was so good. I loved it though. All right,
It was
tell us about yourself, Wayne. How about that?
well, I mean, whenever I get an introduction like that, I always assure the crowd that I'm just a tall, skinny white guy who loves Jesus.
Mm.
Apart from that, it's just bonus. So, as yeah, so I've been in ministry for about 20 years, and we've been married for 23 years or so. Just had an incredible time, a very varied different audiences. I've worked in the city, I've worked in Redneckville, I have worked with multi-site churches, I've worked with very small churches. So it's a privilege to be able to advocate for youth ministry. Um, and so it's a high calling, and I love what I do. Jonny, where are you from, man? How are you in youth ministry? And tell us a little bit of background about you.
Yeah. So my name is Jonny Radcliffe. I am from the Philadelphia area, and I've been. This is the area I love. It's the area I want to fight for, and I uh, I went to college to be a history teacher. Believe it or
Oh,
not,
wow.
maybe get into politics. I don't know if you knew this. That was the dream, to bring lasting change through the government. So we see how that went. But
You had a
um
greater calling.
that's absolutely, because youth ministry is the best calling, and I've been doing it since 2008, and
Mm,
that was right out of college. So I guess I can't math. What is that? 15 years coming up
yeah,
on? That's
yeah.
crazy. But I've done it mostly in the Philly area. I had a beautiful 3-year tour of duty in rural Indiana.
Ah,
Literally got my bird dogs, hopped in the Ford, went into town because you couldn't get a gallon of milk except for a 25-minute drive. It was unique and wonderful, and Indiana will always be my second favorite state. But yeah, 3 great years out there. But now I'm in this area, the Philadelphia area coordinator, and also the national coordinator of resource development. So been working for NNYM, and it's been a blast. But youth ministry is where it's at, kids. Don't jump off the ship and go to some boring lead pastor position. That's for chumps.
well, and we're still in youth ministry because of the connections and relationships we've established. So, one of the reasons that we work with National Network of Youth Ministries is, you need other people, and
Hmm.
just bouncing ideas off of somebody that's also a peer that sees the world through your perspective is so valuable. It keeps you in ministry. And so if you're not involved in a network, hit our website, nnym.org, and find a network or start a network. We'd love to coach you, even if you're not from Pennsylvania, on how to start a network and get it rolling. So,
Yeah.
Jonny, when was that moment that you were like, that's so youth ministry? You were like, I am in youth ministry right now, and nobody, like, when we talk about people understanding you, there's very few people that understand these type of stories. So what were some of those stories for you?
Oh my word. This is a fantastic question because I would say it was in Indiana. So after college, I did a year internship slash, I don't know, it felt like real ministry to me.
Unpaid
Paycheck
work, is that what
said,
you're saying?
yeah, right, practically unpaid. and but then being the lone guy in Indiana in our church, and when I showed up shortly after, my wife wanted to host an event, and it was like an overnight girls event type thing, and
Mm-hmm.
I said that
Classic.
I would be there just hiding away, not around, that kind of thing. Literally had a parent ask me a question that still sticks with me. I still don't have a good answer to this. Uh Without any smile, without any emotion, stared right through me and said, "Hey, Pastor Johnny, how do I know you're not a pedophile?"
Oh, oh man.
And
Valid question.
I know, and I had
Valid
so many
question.
sarcastic answers to be like,
Yeah.
"Well, I have a certification that says I'm not." Like, there's no good answer, and I just said, I'm not." Like, I was 22.
Right.
Anyway, but anyway, that was the moment where I was like, "Okay, here we go. That
Yep.
I am officially arrived." So,
Baptism by fire right there.
absolutely. How about you,
Mhm.
Wayne? What was that moment of, "Yep, I'm in youth ministry"?
One of the things, I'm not real good with names, and so I remember this kid coming, couldn't remember his name, so I called him M Dog. And so it was just M Dog. I couldn't remember if it was Mike, Matt, Mark, whatever. And like for almost a year, I just called this kid M Dog. And he wanted to go on one of our missions trips, and finally I got his name on a permission slip. I mean, we're in rural Pennsylvania, and so you don't have permission slips. The kids ride with their friends at church. Their parents don't even know where they are. And this kid comes, and I'm like, Mike. Oh yeah, Mike. And I referred to him in youth group by his name, and he snaps around. He's like, what happened to M Dog? I was like, I'm so bad. My bad. I didn't like that became his identity. And then one of the other kids is like, yo, his name was Phil. He's like, yo, why don't you call me P Dog? And then the whole room stops, and he goes, oh wait, never mind.
Yeah, nah, nah, we're good.
And
Sorry,
I
P
was
Dog.
like, this is such a youth ministry moment, like fake names, permission slips, super awkward conversation. And yeah, that's one of my favorite, like baptism by fire. Like one of the other kids walked up to me afterwards. He goes, do you know my name? And I was like, I do. He goes, that's good, because your name is the most personal thing you have. So if you didn't know my name, I'd be offended. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and apparently slash your tires or something. That
Well,
got really
Mike
scary.
Mike didn't care. He was M Dog.
That's amazing. That's so funny. And you know what? There's so many Mikes listening to this that are like,
Yeah.
"Yo, this has been my problem my
Was
whole
that me?
life."
Yeah.
All those Michaels. Man, as far as with hosting duties, you want to know a little bit about people. I've been married as long as I've been in ministry. I guess technically ministry has like 4 months longer, but I have 4 kids at home, ages 10 to 2.
Hmm.
I have a toddler that is just crawling over everything. We'll come in the room and she's just like on top of the TV cabinet. It's
She might
remarkable
even show
stuff.
up in a podcast. You never know.
Oh my word, I have so many good kid stories, so many sermon illustrations, but it's literally, this is the only way I can describe it. It's like having a basket full of golden retriever puppies just tackle you at once. Like it's
Yeah.
just so fun. I love it. But they're awesome. But that's probably the only interesting thing to know about me is my location, my family, and I'm also get electric guitar obsessed to the point it
Yeah.
strains my marriage. So, um
Well, and you're
yeah,
very gifted at that, since you led worship at our staff gatherings the last couple times. So we're
thank
thankful for
you.
that gifting and for that weird fascination that you have.
Yes. Yep.
Now, I've been in youth ministry for 20 years, and I have my oldest is in college. My middle child is going to be graduating this year, and my youngest is a middle schooler. So I still think like that youth pastor straight out of college, but now I go, ooh, Is that a good idea? It just through learning and thinking about it, like a parent who has a daughter, would I allow my daughter to go through that youth ministry program? Yeah, let's do
No.
it.
Oh man. So you're starting to think like parent pastor. That's, well, I'll be real, I am too. It's
Yeah,
getting up there in age. I show up to a network meeting and I'm like, am I the elder statesman here at my age? This
yeah,
is something. This is something. Well, I'm excited to be a part of this podcast moving forward. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. We get to talk to a lot of the brightest, and there are just so many stories out there that are worth listening to and worth hearing their heart to allow it to shape our heart, shape our vision, and just to help us slow down and not just be on cruise control as leaders, to really take inventory and to say, God, is there something I need to switch up, or God, where's your spirit moving that I need to join? Can other people point me in that? So I'm pumped. I think it's going to be great.
yeah. And hopefully, when you listen to these podcasts, you go, "Hey, this is something I want to share." And
Mm.
just know, NNYM, we're trying to create discussion around these topics, and so we write discussion guides around each of these podcasts. So if you lead a group of youth workers, hopefully you can just easily walk through the conversation that we have here, extend it into your network meetings, and hopefully what you gain here can continue out into a space where we make you look good. So
Yep.
each of these podcasts are thought through. Each of these podcasts, we want to give you resources through them, and hopefully they aren't just a blessing as you listen to them, but they extend beyond that.
And I think that's all the time we have, not because we hit our time limit, but because my laptop is about to die.
This
It's
got real.
literally about to die. I
Now
know.
podcasting just got real.
I know. I'm staring at the percentage. I'm at 3%. So if I cut out, it's done. But we're done. We reached the end,
We are
right?
done because Jonny's podcast is just like we had youth ministry. That's So Youth Ministry. This is So Podcast. So we'll catch you next time on the Free Refills podcast.
Did I get that right? Is an epilogue the thing in the front of a book?
Um,
Not
we'll
a
look it up.
post log. I don't know.